Welcome back to Guts with Git. I'm Git Funky. Today I am working on the Destroyer's Shadow Armor again. I'm working on the tier bonuses, particularly the third tier bonus, which I want to be something a little bit more special. Tiers 1 and 2 just grant a 25 to 50% knockback resistance, which is a simple buff, just takes one affix and is really simple to set up. For the third tier, I want it to be something a little bit more spectacular, so I'm going to give Phantasmal Armor, the big purple guy that floats above your head and whacks enemies, I'm going to give him a new skill. I call it Spectral Strike. I want it to be a little bit like Emberquake or Flamehammer, except ghostly and purple. So to do this, we need to make a new skill. So what I did was I copied the Destroyer's Soul Rend ability. Maybe not the best one to start with, but let's edit it to make it useful for our monster. So the only attack animation that our summonable has is attack 1. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to turn the speed down. 0.7 will make it slower. Range 3 is fine. I'm going to delete the find target angle because it will turn to find its target. Single target, no. Max invest level doesn't mean anything for a minion. Left map also does not mean anything for a minion. And then weapon requirements, not going to happen. Skill icon, not necessary. The description can be whatever we want it to be. Powerful phantasmal blade cleaves your foes, that's alright. Spectral Bash, original. Let's make this Destro Spectral Strike. Okay. Spectral Strike. Okay, and then let's pare it down to just one level. And give it a good little look over. So right now it's got a mana cost, I don't need that. Our Shadow Armor doesn't have any mana. A warm-up particle, that might be nice to have. We'll keep that there for now. Let's see here. Attaches, weapon damage percent. Yeah, let's make this do a little bit more damage. Does not need to have an affix. We're not going to have any special functions for it. It's just going to do straight up damage. Use DPS. That doesn't mean anything for the minion right now. Okay, this looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to modify the event trigger so that it creates some missiles, because that's how Flamehammer and Emberquake work. They create missiles that follow the ground and spread out, seeking enemies, but also with a little bit of a random movement. There's one more modification I want to make. I'm going to give it a cooldown so that the monster doesn't get to spam it constantly. Make it a little bit more special, make it so that we can make it a little bit stronger. Let's give it a 3-second cooldown, so he gets to use it a lot, but not too often. Alright, now let's go explore what our big hit warm-up looks like. So it's got a particle, Ember Strike warm-up doesn't sound. Let's run the timeline just to see what it looks like. I like it. It looks ghostly. So we're going to keep that one. Just in case we ever need to change the particle effects for this to be something different than Spectral or Soul Rend, I'm going to save this as Shadow Armor Destro Spectral Strike Warm-Up Bit. And then go back to my skill editor, go to my event start, and switch the layout make file. Okay. Now, next up, big hit. Okay. It's got a camera shake. I don't really want my minion to shake the camera. I prefer to have that for player characters to use. You know, you get that visceral feeling whenever you get a crit, or you use like Flame Hammer, it shakes the screen a little bit. It's exciting, but you don't want it to be overused. And if summons have it, it starts to get silly. Okay, so damage shape. We're not going to have a damage shape on this one, so let's save as. So we can start editing it without worrying about it too much. Destro, Spectral Strike, get. Okay, so leave the damage shape. Particle hit, we're not going to have a particle hit. Sound, dash stab, no. I'll worry about the sound later, but let's go with, how about, what sound good? Ember Bolt. How about Ember Strike, Ember Lightning Blast? Let's go with Ember Lightning Blast. It's probably not going to be the one I stick with, but it's got to be better than Dash Stab. Okay, now we need to make a Missile Summoner. So we're going to go with Logic. Go down here, Unit Spawner. We're going to set the position to 0 because for some reason, whenever I add a new bit over here on the left-hand side, it always sets it to negative 1.78 and 1.79. Offsets it too much. This is enabled. We're going to have it spawn 3 of these. We're going to spawn missiles. And let's just save this for now because I need to make a new missile for it. Okay. So let's go to Media. This is the vanilla files. Open up the missiles, see what we've got here. Player skills. Let's go with... Now this is where I usually spend a lot of time, just looking through the different vanilla file options that I can play with and work from. I might change them later. You know what, let's go back, let's go to monsters, and I think the Netherine have a missile that I'm looking for. Here we go, Netherine single ground missile. What is that? What's it look like? Yeah, alright, that looks ghostly. So, let's save as, because I want to change this a little bit. Go back to our mods, go back to our mod folder. You know what, I don't think I ever mentioned. Over here in your favorites on the left-hand side of the Explorer window, you want to put your media folder for your TL2 vanilla files, and pretty much any of your favorite little locations, so you don't have to spend too much time going back to them. To do that, you can right-click on your favorites, add current location to favorites, and it'll pop up right here. So, first time you navigate to your mod folder here, you might want to just go ahead and add current location to favorites. Alright. So we're going to save this guy under missiles. Let's call him Destro Spectral Strike Hit. Change this just for the heck of it. I don't think it matters much. Spectral Strike. The other important thing is to change the missile name. Gotta do this. Otherwise you won't be able to see it and you'll probably overwrite something important. Spectral Strike Hit. I like to be thorough. This way, I don't think I'll ever have any sort of file conflicts with this missile name, unless somebody else is running around pretending to be me and adding get to the end of every single file name they have. Alright. So, let's see here. Number of ricochets. Let's not have this ricochet. 0. Piercing. Yeah, let's let it pierce. That's fine by me. Radius 0.3. Let's go up here a little bit more. So let's start. Active is fine. And collides with objects in the world. Okay, good. That means it'll run into things and stop, like walls. Follow ground, true, that's good. Okay, max distance, that's a little far. I don't want it to go 20 meters. Let's have it go maybe 8. It's a nice short little run. Okay, and let's, homing, there we go. Yep, I want it to home. Homing gets really strong really fast. I'm going to give it a 0.1. And we're going to have it start homing after 1 second so that it goes out from the center for a little bit before it starts to turn. You know what, maybe we'll turn the homing speed up to 5. You'll see the missile will start to home on an imaginary target that circles around it. Start coming over here. Okay, that looks good. Turn pretty far, but it's not going to double back on itself and hit its original target more than once. Okay, turn randomization. We need to have a max turn rate set. How about a max turn rate? I don't know. Let's leave that. Randomized turns before homing? No. What happens when we turn up the max turn rate? Let's go with homing. See what happens. Okay, looks pretty good. You know what, I'm just going to save this. Now, one thing I want to do is that this purple is a little bit too magenta for me. I want to change that a little bit, make it look more in line. You know what, let's leave it for now. Twinkle Toes can take care of that. Hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't burn out and decide not to do more particles for us because they are fantastic. And I'd like to see more. Okay. So we're going to save that. We're going to go back to our skill layout, to our unit spawner, and we're going to select our new missile. So let's go down to B. Oh, I need to reload the missiles. So this little diskette right here is the reload function. Some things, when you make new assets like missiles, you need to refresh so that they'll show up in the menu down here. Alright. Here we go. Destro, Spectral Strike. We're going to make 3 of those. And let's make sure that it's radiating out. So no, it's not. Direction forward will send all 3 missiles straight ahead, and it'll ignore our arc, our damage shape. It's not damage shape, it's a spawner. So we're going to go outward from center, and what that'll do is that should send out 3 missiles at equal angles from one another. Okay. Utilities, file name to clipboard, Control F. Let's go back here. Let's replace big hit with our new skill layout. Alright, media skills destroyer, spectral shadow armor. God, that's long. Okay, good. Save. Okay, and let's take this weapon damage down a little bit. Because I've got 3 missiles, and they could all possibly hit the same target, that would be doing way too much damage. Let's make it 75. That'll be all. Or you know what? It only happens once every 3 seconds. Let's try 100. If it's overpowered, we can always change it later. Okay, now we've got our skill set up. Now we need to give it to our shadow armor. So we need to go to You know, I think Twinkle Toes has a better method for this. I don't know of one, so I'm going to go to the units, monsters, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a new clone of the Shadow Armor who's going to have this skill. Or you know what, if you guys want to experiment with me, let's go ahead and just make the Shadow Armor have that skill already. Let's go down to Destro, Spectral Strike. We have it on level 1, required level 0. Enabled? No. It's not going to be enabled. Okay. Now we're going to need a new affix. This is what I'm trying. This experiment here is trying an affix that will enable that skill instead of having to have both a new monster file and a new layout file to summon the monster. It gets repetitive, especially if you have something like the Wanderers or the Outlanders Repulsion Hex, which has 15 different unit and layout files because it increments the skills every level. Okay, let's make a new affix. Destro, Shadow, let's just call it Spectral Strike. Yep, Spectral Strike, add. Make it a little bit more descriptive. Okay. New effect. We're going to skill. Okay, skill enable. Oops. And I'm going to copy the skill name over, which is Destro Spectral Strike. Get. Pop it into the effect name. Anytime you have an effect that modifies a skill or casts a skill, and you want to have that effect name or the skill name in the effect name right there. That tells it which one to go for. Min time, max time, I'm not sure what that would do. Let's go with instant. Okay, that's confusing. I'm going to go to the effect. Let's go here. Go down to skill enable. And it does not tell us what min time or max time is going to do. Okay. No description. So we just have to guess. Let's go with exclusive. Time next time. Let's see here. Duration instant. Okay, I hope this doesn't have any weirdness. Well, let's try it with 0 and see how it works. Okay. Now, the affix to add Spectral Strike to our Shadow Armor needs to go on the summon skill that we used to summon him. So it's our event trigger that applies the affix to the monster. I'm going to go ahead and try and give it, since we're just testing, I don't need to wait and put it on level 15. Let's just put it on level 1. Destro Spectral Strike, add get. Okay. Let's try that. Package it. now would be a good time to go ahead and go walk your dog, because this is going to take just a little bit. Okay. Start a torchlight. Alright. Okay, here we go. There we go, we cast our new okay, so it doesn't seem to be casting a skill. Let's check the combat log over here to make sure that's enabling it. Okay. So we've got Dustro, Shadow Armor Prayer Git, Dustro, Shadow Armor Duration Git, Spectral Strike, Effect Applied, Skill Enable. Okay, you know what? Let's make sure that the skill's working at all. So just go back to monsters, enable the skill, save that, and package and publish, go back into the game. You know what I should probably do is I should probably move that affix off of it until we figure out whether or not the skill is casting correctly. We won't know if the affix is working. My guess is I probably need to set a duration for it. That min time, max time is probably something I have to set. Okay. So, let's go back here. Enter 4. Let's just go ahead and delete that. Okay. Package and publish. This is the slow part. Trying new stuff takes forever. Which sucks because I don't have a whole lot of time. I gotta get to work here pretty soon. Okay, so the Shadow Armor should go ahead and cast the skill now. Oh, did it miss or something? Ah. Okay, it's casting it. I can see it's got the particle effect for the warm-up. Oh! You know what I forgot? That was stupid. Okay, so back to our... So this is our layout that casts on the event trigger. You'll see in the timeline, I forgot to put the unit spawner on. Okay. Set it to spawn units. There we go. File save. Now it should be working. Okay, so it looks like the skill works fine. Now let's go back to the monster. Disable it. Save you. And we're going to go back to that affix. Enable skill. Level 1, let's just make sure, I don't know, probably just punching random numbers at this point. But let's make this 9999999. I want it to last for as long as possible. Clink. Go back to the skill, put it back in. Wonder if it's shown up yet. Destro. Nope. Okay. Just manually do it. Back to the. Close down the affixes. Okay. There we go. Spectral strike. Add. That's not. I deleted the wrong one. That was supposed to be a dummy skill down there. This is the one that I wanted. Okay. That one's still there. So, let's go back and put in the one that I mistakenly deleted. Shadow Armor Dummy. Goes back into the skill. Unhandled exception. Save. Skills. Did that come out right? Okay, didn't do anything there. I'm guessing I must have screwed this up a little bit. Okay. Apply. Perfect. Save. Let's go package and publish and see if our enable skill affix is going to help at all. Source code. Okay. Let's cast the skill. See if he'll cast it. Doesn't look like he's going to. Okay, so Spectral Strike, add. Okay. Let's push that down. Affix, editor. Let's go back to Spectral Strike, add. Let's make the duration Always. Let's try that. Or that should be fine. Okay, let's try that. You know what? I'm going to end the video here. I'll let you guys know if I figure out whether or not the enable skill effect works or not. Anyways, that's how you go about adding a new skill to a summon. Have a nice day.